Flipgrid. I'm going to show you how to use Flipgrid and what Flipgrid is if you don't know. Flipgrid is a platform that allows students to share with you and with every other student in your class short video responses to prompts that you add into your grid. So we'll start by making a grid. I'm going to assume that you have already signed up for Flipgrid before doing this. And if you haven't, you can watch the video now, but you're going to have to sign up for the Educator Flipgrid to do any of this. But assuming that that's done, we're going to go to Educator Login. And this is your dashboard where your grids live. I'm going to show you the process of adding a new grid and putting content in the grid. So first, you go add a new grid. Now, a grid is a big overarching topic. You can have one grid for your entire class. You can have a grid for each subject. You can have as many grids as you want because you can add topics to each grid. So I'm going to go ahead and call this, I'm going to call this Crispin and the cross of lead because that's the read aloud that I am doing with my students right now. And I think I actually am going to have them record some responses to different things going on in the book. School email, it's really important that you select school email. This is how your students get to the grid. Don't mess with this. You can, but just don't. So the next thing is we have to add, because we said that students can access the grid with their school email, we have to add the correct email domain. So as Auburn teachers, our email addresses end in @auburn.wednet.edu, but student emails do not end like that. So right now, the only people that can access the grid would be teachers and staff in Auburn, and your kids could not use it at all. So you need to manually include student domains, which is @auburnsd.org. Double check it, make sure I did right, and there you go. Now, this is it's actually a URL. I can copy this and put it in a web browser and go right to the grid. I can stick it automatically in a remind message to my classroom. We don't use this. And if you use Google Sites or some other website, you can embed the grid code right on your website. Now let's go to the grid and put some stuff in the grid. So, it picked a book cover. You can customize the cover picture and change things, but that's cool that it picked a book for that because it's a book. All right, add a new topic. Right now, the grid, there's nothing going on. It's just this. So what students are going to respond to are prompts that are inside your topics. So I'm going to add a new topic, and let's say the topic is bear. Bear is the large jester that roams the countryside and captures Crispin and claims him as his servant for all of time, if you haven't read the book. And maybe I'll say, this is just a sample to show you all how it works. What do you think of Bear's motives? So that's a question. That's what students are going to have to answer. These are really cool options. You can pick a maximum recording time. I really don't want them to tell me 90 seconds worth of what they think about Bear's motives. Maybe I'll give them 45 seconds. Video moderation, I would recommend. You don't have to if you trust all your students and that there's not any strangeness going on in the background at their homes when they're making these videos, and you're okay with them automatically adding them to the grid without your approval, then you can leave this off. I'm not turning it off. I'm turning it on. This is important because the grid, every person that adds a video to the grid, it's going to be viewable to anybody that accesses the grid. So your whole class is going to be able to see what everybody responds to on this prompt. This is another cool thing. You can add a lot of different stuff. I'm going to let you play around with this stuff if you want to. I'm just going to show you how to add a video. So, and it's called a focus. You don't have to, but since you're asking students to make videos, you can do it with a video. So here we go. You have 10 minutes. Yeah, don't use 10 minutes. I guess my light is not very good in here. Oh, well. So this is what I would say to, say, students. Bear does give Crispin some bread, but only after he demands Crispin's full and lifetime allegiance. What do you think Bear really wants from Crispin? Something like that. When I'm finished with my prompt, okay, so this is good. Make sure you actually like press record before you record. I was practicing anyway, like getting my script right. So press the camera to start recording your little focus video. Get your countdown. Bear captures Crispin and forces him to swear allegiance to him for the rest of his life. What are Bear's motives? What do you think Bear really wants with Crispin? Then you can review your. You can add a little more. There's some editing that you can do that I'm not going to get into. I'll let you play around with it. I'm just going to go next. You can add a selfie that goes along with the video. And I actually have not, if you make the video, I think you have to make the selfie. I will show you a couple other things you can do, but really you're going to have to play around with all these things and see what you like to use and what you don't. So if you want to draw kids' attention to something, you can make it in a little sticky. There are filters. There's the filters. There are filters you can use. No filter, pixelated, taking the filter off. And this is all fun stuff that can make your videos cuter or more engaging, more fun, whatever you like. But when you are done, like I said, you have to take the selfie. So I am going to take the selfie. Then you hit next. And it processes and getting your video ready. And we're done. This is what, it's not the student, it's not the student view or what they will see, but it is how you as a teacher create the grid, add topic to the grid, and add a focused video and some other things to that. I will log in as a student and try to make a video showing you the student point of view, what they see and what they have to do to add things to the grid. And then I will show you what it looks like when there are lots of responses to a grid, like when you have a grid with a bunch of students on it. So hopefully this gives you an idea of how to use Flipgrid or how to create Flipgrid, and maybe got you excited about using it. You're not done until you go create topic. All set. So that's what students see. And I guess the next is going to be, what how students get to it and how students use it and what you can do after you have student responses. All right, there you go. Bye.